17-time champion Celtics, the reigning champion Warriors meet on this NBA Friday presented by State Farm. We welcome you to Oracle Arena here in Oakland. Mike Tirico, John Barry, J.A. Adonde. The Warriors with a win tonight can become the fourth team in the history of the league to win 69 games in the same season. If they win 4 out of their final 7, they tie the 96 Bulls. If they win 5 of their final 7, they surpass them for the all-time regular season wins mark. Here tonight, starting lineups, they are brought to you by Fairfield Inn and Suites. For the Celtics, who lost last night in Portland and are really in a battle for the 3 through 6 spot in the East, there is no Jay Crowder in the lineup again with his right ankle sprain. Played last night, not tonight. So it's Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Evan Turner making his 11th start, Amir Jefferson, and Jared Sullinger. Since most people see the Warriors every night, there's no need to go through their starting lineup. John, they've been the best show in the league, and what a treat to watch them continue this march towards history as we start April. Been 14 months since the Warriors lost a home game. It'll start in the hands of the champs, in the hands of the MVP, Steph Curry. Golden State had a back-to-back Tuesday and Wednesday. They won in overtime at Utah, and John and I will go through it in the next few minutes. So that really showed you how much this team is selling out to get the record. Draymond Green begins with a 3.
Well, not your typical ball movement there from the Golden State Warriors. A standstill contested 3 goes down from Draymond. Not a great sign if you're a Boston fan.
Important game for the Celtics at 43 and 32. Playoff-bound team in all likelihood trying to solidify a spot. Jared Sullinger guarded by Bogut with the step back. It's short. Here goes Steph. Hit ahead Clay. Just off his hands and a turnover. That's one thing Brad Stevens, the Celtics coach, pointed out to us, John, before the game. Cannot have those runouts, can't have the back cuts, body position, so important defensively for his team here tonight.
But what they have to have is turnovers, and they got one there. They're number 1 in the NBA in forcing turnovers, and Golden State is susceptible to turning the basketball over, getting a little complacent as Bradley can't get his first jumper to go.
Bogut, terrific passing big man, trails the play, and Green left free. Draymond Green has opened with back-to-back 3s.
So you get Green knocking down a couple. Steph or Clay have not taken one. Harrison Barnes, a 36%er. They can come from everywhere.
Evan Turner on the turn and toss. Mentioned he jumped into the starting lineup after the injury to Crowder, the former number 2 overall pick from Ohio State. Draymond. Little heat check going for 3.
Little Steph Curry heat check there, about 5 feet behind the line. I'm not so sure Steve Kerr was happy with that.
Happy with that. The block by Green on the drive by Avery Bradley. Kept alive by Isaiah Thomas. Turner no. Sullinger on the glass. Stripped by Thompson. Such excitement and enthusiasm every time one of these Warriors gets in position to do something. The oohs and ahs. Curry has thrown it away twice here tonight. On the push, Turner, Amir Johnson, former Piston who was with Toronto over the last 6 years, makes it 6-4.
But how about how easy Steph gets by Isaiah Thomas there? I mean, it's the ball handling. I don't think we've seen really anything like it. I go back to maybe an Isaiah Thomas was one of the great ball handlers.
The Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, that's right.
Not here tonight.
I guess we have to clarify that. Yes, the one that played for the Pistons, who was a pretty good player.
This Isaiah Thomas coming off a sensational month. Missed the 3, an all-star appearance in February. Scored over 20 in every game in March. Klay Thompson slips as he tried to bring that in. That's a 3rd Warriors turnover. They're on a pace of 1 a minute right now.
Well, that's what makes this team so dangerous. Steph has thrown 2 away, as you mentioned, and he tried it again. That was the same pass he threw away a minute and a half ago, but he's going to try it again. They don't care. They play with such great confidence, and it's instilled by Steve Kerr that he allows them to just be themselves.
I don't think Steve is happy with the volume of turnovers, but it's when they have that almost laissez-faire attitude that they know they can burst and score on a team, but they seem to try those home runs.
Or they can defend when they have to as well, Mike. They can win games defensively. It's not just about scoring at will, which they typically do. When it gets down to 5 minutes to go in a game, if it's close, their defense is as good as anybody in the league.
We saw that as we went through the finals last year when they had to lock down. Nick Buchert, the official, needed some help. Mark Ayotte, and it was out of bounds, they say, last off the Warriors. Turner turned it over. And Draymond Green on the push. Trying not to give Curry room. Avery Bradley, long-armed, good defender. This needs to get going for Golden State. And these very smart fans know that Harrison Barnes has been struggling. So good to see the first one go down and make it a 9-4 lead.
Well, nothing but threes, 2 from Draymond. Now Harrison knocks one down. Curry yet to shoot the basketball.
They have anybody else who can make threes on this team?
I think they have a couple of guys.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, Curry Thompson, not too bad.
Check that. Isaiah Thomas looked to draw the call as he was knocked down. Draymond boards it, brings it up. And a 4th turnover for Golden State. You just see Steve Kerr's face and body language. He gets more frustrated with sloppy turnovers trying to hit the home run.
Right, but that was a nice executed play, a down screen for Steph, which you don't see a whole lot of early in transition. Caught Boston off guard. He was open, just kind of fumbled the basketball.
Jared Sullinger knocks one down, tighten it to a 3-point game. It's been good to watch Jared's progression here. He's got a little more stamina. He's able to play deeper into games and not fade in the second half, which was a problem. Barnes missed a 3 there.
Well, and the back was an issue when he came out. And he carries a lot of weight, but he's been healthy for the most part. He's turned himself into a nice jump shooter.
Knocked the 3 down. He's got 27 of those, and Steve Kerr doesn't like it, and he'll take an early timeout. All even at 9. Less than 5 minutes gone by here in the first. Again in Houston, Final Four on Saturday of the NBA Sunday Showcase. On Sunday, very important game for the Rockets right now on the outside of the playoff picture. Looking in against an Oklahoma City team that's put together some good games over the last few weeks. So the Thunder and the Rockets, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC. And of course available on the Watch ESPN app. Those of you finding us here on ESPN2, Draymond Green hit 2 threes to start. 9-3 since. Our game tied at 9. That's the first shot attempt for either of the Splash Brothers, and Klay Thompson put up a brick.
I find it interesting that Brad Stevens told us as we spoke to him before the ball game, he was real impressed with OKC. Like,
yes.
He thinks that they have a real opportunity to come out of the West. He thought they were that good.
Jump ball here for Amir Johnson and Draymond Green. Oklahoma City getting another big victory last night for Brad Stevens' team. They are on the road here again, 18-20 on the road this year. And an odd time, much like Miami, to get a West Coast trip for an Eastern-based team as you head to the final couple of weeks of the season. They won Saturday in Phoenix, lost the Clippers on Monday night by 24, and lost an entertaining game to Portland in Oregon last night.
Guy's a terrific coach. This team was 19-19 at one point, Mike, and 24-13 since. The offense has been terrific, 109 a game since that point. And they get after defensively, especially this guy here, Avery Bradley.
And really, John, when you think about it, not the most talented roster in terms of offensive players to go get buckets. This guy's been terrific. Isaiah Thomas, stop and start there. And Evan Turner in the paint. Gets 2 and the C's on top by 2.
No, I'm with you. It's a collection of a lot of good players. And you mentioned Jay Crowder being out tonight, another really good player. But do just good players win titles? No, you have to have that alpha dog. You've got to have a superstar player. Now, Isaiah Thomas, close. He's an all-star. But can he do it in the playoffs and carry a team? I guess we'll find out.
Sullinger, big and burly to the basket, draws the contact and the foul. This is a Celtic team that has 6 players who score double-digit points, and 8 players balance it over 20 minutes.
They do it by committee, and really, other than Isaiah, you don't know who's going to be that second scorer on a nightly basis. Yeah, Bradley averages 15. Olynyk can come off the bench and score. Turner's another guy they like to bring off the bench when Crowder starts. A lot of question marks on the offensive end on a nightly basis. Who you can rely on to be a consistent scorer.
That was the first foul of the game. We went half a quarter without a personal foul. It was on Andrew Bogut. Sullinger missed them both. Celtics lead remains 2.
But Danny Ainge has this team in position to do a lot of good things. Another Warrior turnover.
The Warriors have slipped a couple of times down this, and 6 turnovers, first 6.5 minutes. Bogut picks up his second foul as he knocks down Amir Johnson, who was going to the basket. So 2 on the starting center of the Warriors.
Well, this is exactly what you were talking about, right? A little sloppy, complacent. They scored 9 quick points, up 9-3. And 5 turnovers now as you see Steph, simply just steps over and the left leg just slips out. And obviously you can't control that, but 5 early turnovers. That's really, if you can say there's a problem with a team that's 68-7, that's the only one you can say is maybe a little bit careless with the basketball at times. That's it. There's nothing else that's a weakness on this team. The world would love to have these problems.
Yes, it would.
Just some lazy plays every once in a while.
Warriors try to get organized here. They bring in Anderson Varejao out for Bogut with 2. And Leandro Barbosa comes in for Klay Thompson. And 12-3 Celtics run. Marcus Smart has checked in to get Evan Turner for subs of the game. There's Perry with the quickness. Steve Nash is in the building. Dribble kept alive. A la Nash. Varejao on the re-tee. Johnson down. Draymond Green down. We got a lot of bodies on the floor here.
What's going on with the floor?
Foul on Amir.
I don't think the San Jose Seals are still playing here, are they?
No, they are not. Here's Brad Stevens from an earlier timeout.
Hey, great job in transition of matching out the shooters. Let's get everybody back. Let's make sure transition supersedes matchup.
It's one thing they are is Varejao scores inside. Anderson hasn't given them much offense, just 52 points in his first 18 games. It's a very disciplined team on the defensive end, this Boston group.
I like that. Transition supersedes matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just get back and get to somebody. I don't care who it is. If you have to run out to Steph Curry and you're Jared Sullinger, you do it.
Draymond Green trying to find a third 3. Look at Varejao chase it down, but Sullinger is there. So a low-scoring start to this one for the Warriors, and Isaiah Thomas off on the 3. I love watching Curry. As soon as the team secures a rebound, he loves getting a sprint. Nobody stopped Green until Sullinger met him at the rim, and Jared picks up the foul. Ohio State on Michigan State.
They were
Big Ten
jawing.
contact.
Yeah, they were jawing a little bit before the game, having some fun.
Yeah, good jawing. Good jawing.
Ohio State didn't make the tournament, and Michigan State was eliminated after 1 round, so neither of them had much room to talk. As Draymond showing a little hops there. But that, we're talking about Brad Stevens and in transition. That's what's changed so much in the game over the past few seasons. Remember, there used to be 3-on-2s where you would run to the wing and then make a beeline for a layup.
Yes.
Not so much.
No.
You just run to the three-point lines, and even guys that can't shoot threes run to the three-point line. And instead of getting an easy, uncontested layup, teams settle for open threes. And that's why a little bit while scoring has not been what it's used to be. Back in the day, it was always an automatic. There's not an automatic on a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2.
I love being here with you. I get to do so many of these games with Hubie Brown, and still, as Bradley turns and hits, Avery Bradley gives the Celtics a 1-point lead. If there's a fast break and these guys run to the line, Olynyk with a push in the back. They want the goaltend on this one.
Thought it hit the glass, didn't you, Mike? It might not have gone in, but the ball hit the glass. You cannot hit the ball after it hits the glass.
Steve Kerr is adamant about that. Now looking up at the replay, and it clearly did.
Yeah, that
as Marcus Smart got it. All the officials looking in the other direction.
You see, now why can't we look at that right now? We have instant replay.
It would take 5 minutes.
No, it should. Well, this is the Avery Bradley jump shot.
Right.
It's not going to tell us much about the goaltend.
Yeah, and then on the other end, Marcus Smart got a piece of it after it went off the window. Everybody's looking at the Olynyk foul because it was transition, was hard in the back, and it was a good foul because Varejao misses both free throws.
But clearly the call was missed. That ball hit the backboard. It should have been a goaltend.
Bradley. Avery Bradley, when he came in after 1 year at Texas, did not have a great outside shooting stroke. He has worked on it and improved it significantly. Barbosa cutting hard to the basket.
Mike, that was very kind that he did not have a very good shot because he had no shot. And no, honestly, this guy worked tirelessly to become a nice mid-range shooter, and he actually shoots the ball from three. Well, there's another one. He comes off screens. He's off the dribble. Really made himself into an excellent offensive player.
Barnes teed up by Varejao for the three. It's a couple of long passes, and Brad Stevens knows they cannot live with that. So the timeout taken here at the 3-minute mark in our game, all even at 18 apiece.
Well, and Boston typically very good in transition. They only allow 10 fast break points per game. The Golden State Warriors 20.8 fast break points per game, #1 in the league. So Brad Stevens is going to let his unit know about it.
You know, John, these two teams played earlier in the year, and it was a milestone game in some regards because it was the last game that Golden State won in that NBA record 24-0 start to the season. But one of the things we've seen in that matchup, which was double overtime, we'll show you some of the highlights of that, and then the two meetings last year, Boston has played Golden State pretty well. Here are the highlights of the game on December 11th. Back and forth, 2 overtimes. Steph Curry had an unusually poor shooting night, but got it going as the game went on. 38 points, 124-119. Remember, Olynyk had a chance at the end of regulation to hit a basket to win the game, and then that's perfect start to the season. But the Warriors got the victory, and then the next night they lost for the first time in Milwaukee. Tight turnaround, back-to-back, and they lost. But what is it, in your opinion, about the way the Celtics are constituted and the way they play that matches up well with trying to give Golden State a good game?
Well, they're #1 in the NBA in forcing turnovers. You can force turnovers against the Warriors that score. They score about 19 a game off of those turnovers. They do a great job in transition. I just talked about it. They only give up 10 points per game in transition, and then they're #1 in the NBA in defending the three. Who's the best three-point shooting team in the NBA?
Right.
It's the Golden State Warriors. So you do those three things, you give yourselves a chance. Now remember, in that game, no Harrison Barnes, no Klay Thompson in
Right.
Boston. That's a little bit of a difference maker, but nonetheless, Boston has played them well over the past 3 meetings against this great Warrior team.
You talk about great. It's a historic perspective time because the Golden State Warriors have been in count-up mode, 64, 65. Now sitting as we start tonight at 68 wins. Now it's kind of a countdown for them. Can they get to the record for the Bulls? Here are the numbers that the Warriors are chasing for these last 2 weeks of the season. The Bulls' record of 72, most wins in a season. They're sitting on 68. 40 wins is the all-time home record. That Celtics team was 40-1. The Warriors have 5 home games left. They are 36-0 to this point. And the chance to get the road wins, 2 left, John, as they have won 32 away from here.
It's incredible to look at the standings and see 68-7. I guess partly because we've never seen it before. It's the greatest start in 75-game history, but I even said it to Bob Myers, the great GM of this team who's put together an incredible unit, and he said the same thing. He said, I look at 68-7 and I can't understand it. It's just, it seems like it's not even possible.
Disbelief internally as well. The cutting Bradley was fouled by Varejao. Anderson picks up his first. Each team 3 team fouls here, 2:51 in the first quarter. By the way, Cleveland, that game just ending over on ESPN, beat Atlanta. So the Cavaliers able to stay 2 up in the loss column on Toronto, and that Atlanta loss important for Celtics because sitting at 32 losses like this Boston team. And we welcome in those of you who watched the Cleveland victory in Atlanta in overtime. Mike Tirico, John Barry, J.A. Adonde with you at Oracle Arena in Oakland, where it has been a slow start for the Warriors. Steph Curry's turned it over 5 times. Golden State is only 6 of 13, which we usually see them shoot better. And right now, John, Boston, which has given the Warriors a problem over the last couple of years in terms of close games. Right now, the Celtics leading by 1.
There's another turnover. 7 first-quarter turnovers for 7 Boston points. That's what they do best. The Celtics will turn you over, #1 in the league. You better do that when you play the Golden State Warriors and get back on defense.
Jonas Jerebko with the miss. Warriors back the other way. Leandro Barbosa finds Curry. He missed a 3 earlier, so Steph 0 for 2 from deep so far. Matter of fact, both he and Klay Thompson are scoreless to this point. And Jerebko knocks down the outside shot. The Warriors facing a Celtics team that played last night in Portland. Oh, Curry behind the back. Livingston. This is me.
Almost had Mike, get ready.
It was close. But it is another turnover.
8. And they've had quarters like this. You remember in Portland, they had, I think they had a 13 turnover quarter in Portland when they were pasted right after the All-Star break. And if you're looking for something that they don't do well, that would be the only thing. A little bit of complacency with the basketball at times. We're seeing it here tonight in the early going.
No Jay Crowder for the Celtics. One of their key contributors, Marcus Smart, from the outside, has just had a horrific season shooting the 3. It was kept alive on good hustle by Terry Rozier, the rookie, who's seeing minutes in the absence of Crowder tonight. Curry trying to get going. Gets doubled. The extra pass finds Draymond Green. Very out of sorts start for the Warriors, similar to the game in Utah on Wednesday night, where they were in an offensive funk but broke out of it with a terrific close. And we'll hear from Steph Curry a little bit later on in this game how important it was the first time he, during a game, thought about this pursuit of 73 wins was in that 4th quarter against the Utah Jazz, where they had to come from behind to beat Quinn Snyder's team. Jerebko free. Kelly Olynyk, good shooter from the outside, is off. See if they go 2 for 1 or just try to get a good shot, which they haven't gotten many of thus far.
Out of sorts, discombobulated, un-Warrior-like quarter right here.
Steph dribbled everybody to him and found Varejao. Marcus Smart goes quick and gives the Warriors a full clock.
And it wasn't a 2 for 1.
I had no idea what that was.
That was not a great play, and here you are, though, if you're the Golden State Warriors, shooting a paltry 41%, and you're right here in the ball game, turning it over 8 times.
No points from Thompson or Curry until now. Steph with the 3. Final seconds. Smart loses it. Jerebko with the heave, and the quarter comes to an end. So they turn it over 8 times. No splashes from the Splash Brothers until this Curry 3, and after 1, the champs lead the Celtics by 2. Here's by 2. Here's J.A. Adonde.
Thanks, Mike. Brad, how is your defense able to hold the starting backcourt for the Warriors scoreless until that last Steph 3 without a shot for the first 5 minutes?
Well, Steph has had 3 open looks, and if he gets 3 open looks, he's usually going to make them. But the last one, we've got to defend better. But, you know, we needed to take that last shot. So we've got to play a little bit better offensively. We've got to take advantage of the open shots, got to take advantage of our free throws if you're going to have a chance to win this game.
Flip side, you managed to score without any points from Isaiah Thomas. How do you get him going in this game?
Well, I think the biggest thing is he's doing a good job of finding other guys. We're going to have to play through our bigs. We're going to have to involve our bigs in every play. I thought the ball movement on the last few possessions was really good for us. He'll get going.
Thanks for your time, Brad. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Jay, thank you. Terry Rozier at the line for the Celtics. He missed his free throw. Boston 3 of 8 at the line thus far tonight. Rozier, the rookie out of Louisville. Of course, you see Brad Stevens, the Celtics coach, on this weekend. You can't help but think about the 2 back-to-back national championship games that he took Butler to. Losing to Duke, Gordon Hayward half-court shot that almost went in just short. Like Klay Thompson's shot there, just short. And then 11, UConn beating Butler for the national title. Brad's done a fine job, 25 wins year one, 40 last year, and already guaranteed a winning season for the Celtics at 43-32, sitting in the 6th spot in the East. Ian Clark, most Spates, Sean Livingston off the Golden State bench to start this quarter. 9 on the shot clock, and here is Barnes. John Barry, that's 2 threes for Harrison Barnes after one of his last 10 from deep for the Warriors.
Big time. That's 3 threes actually, Mike.
You're right. You're right.
And this is a guy that you mentioned earlier has been struggling a little bit. Got to get him going. And he's shooting with a lot more confidence. Talked to Bruce Frazier, the great assistant coach for Steve Kerr, who works with the shooters. Takes credit for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. J.A. and I were talking to him before the game, said, you have to lead the league in assists. And you don't lead him in rebounds. We know that.
Spates off the miss.
Yeah, but they got to get Harrison Barnes going. Such a huge factor for them last year and really went through a tough stretch shooting the basketball, and he seems to be back.
The Celtics have been a mess here. They've missed their last 6 shots. A couple of turnovers along the way. And the Warriors have taken the 4-point lead, still playing without Andre Iguodala and Festus Ezeli, but they're getting close as Sean Livingston hits that shot and takes the lead up to 6.
He's been so much better this year than he was last year. It just seems to be so much more confident, a little more aggressive on the offensive end, and his mid-range shooting so much improved. Oh, scary play there as Rozier looks like he's going to be okay.
Hit the deck hard as he was getting boxed out. Foul called on the Warriors.
I mean, Boston's a good team, right?
Yes. I think
so could the Warriors play much worse than they did in the first quarter? And they're still up 2 points, right? 7 of their 8 field goals assisted. And you always hear Doc Rivers, great coach down with the LA Clippers, talk about, we're not playing hero ball, do it together. The Warriors never do that. They still rely on one another. They have confidence in one another. Whether they're playing horribly, whether they're turning it over, whether they're playing great, they trust one another, and they never care who's the guy that gets it done. That's what's just so impressive about them. And they have a lot of guys that can get it done.
And who do a lot, too. Like a couple of trips ago, it's a great Klay Thompson box out to keep Olynyk off the board, start transition the other way. You know, Klay, you're the #1 option on the floor right now, scoring-wise. Jerebko inside ends that long drought for the Celtics and gets them back within 4.
Well, Mike, I don't think you hear a lot of people talk about trust factor with teams. You have to trust. If I go try to help you, then I know somebody's going to come help me. And there's a lot of teams, and they're not good teams when you don't have a trust factor. And they had it. Every single guy will make a winning play.
Jerebko off on the 3.
Boston will play with pace. Number 3 in the NBA in pace.
They're just not seeing the ball go down. They're just 1 of 9 shooting the 3. It's a couple of rebounds now for Terry Rozier, 6'1".
Again,
Turner slipped. A lot of slipping here. It's not as though it's an unseasonably warm day. We're very humid in the building. A lot of guys slip. Thompson on the drive. Beats Olynyk to the rim. And the Warriors lead by a half dozen.
Mike, that is the different part of his game. I remember when he came in the league, very rarely would he go in the paint.
Yep.
Shot very few free throws. His ability now to put it on the deck and get to the rack, much improved. Nice block.
Livingston locks Turner, 5 to shoot, 6 I should say, and it's last off of Turner, so it is Warriors ball when we come back. Golden State leading by 6. Notice this, Charlotte has moved up to 3rd. 2, 3, 6, and 7, if you will, are in their own side of the bracket in the Eastern Conference. That means, as of right now, Toronto or Charlotte or Boston or Detroit, one of those 4 teams would be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Correct.
So it is an interesting window of time here. Miami stays in that 4 spot, Cleveland in the 1, as teams jockey for position. Spates denied there. But spots 3 through 6 with Atlanta, Miami, Charlotte, and Boston separated by just that 1 loss as we head to the final dozen days of the NBA season.
So if Miami wins in Sacramento, which they're up comfortably, I believe.
66-48 at halftime.
Okay,
with
so
no Dwayne Wade and no Boogie Cousins, by the way.
And they win that game, they're tied with Miami in the 3-hole. And you want to get out of the 4 because that gives you Cleveland second round.
Right.
And look, Miami has given Cleveland some problems.
Yeah.
They really have.
Harrison Barnes is off, rebounded by Turner.
Well, how about on the other end of that, Mike? We talk about Memphis, which obviously has been devastated by injuries.
So if Spates for the foul here, they will. Spates' arms were down, so he'll get the call.
They're one game in the loss column ahead of Portland.
Memphis
to go down to the 6th seed, Memphis would. And that could set up a Portland LA Clipper first round. And what a job Terry Stotts has done with that group. That was a rebuilding season.
Yes, it was.
That's what they had in mind. And if anybody tells you any different, they're not telling you the truth, because they're playing guys that have never been in a real rotation. Obviously, there's a few guys. C.J. McCollum is going to be your most improved player of the year. Aminu's played well for them.
Well, just as the Celtics, Al-Farouq Aminu hit huge threes last night. Yeah, in the Portland win. And you mentioned Mo Harkless now in the starting lineup. So
Noah Vonleh, they played a lot early in the season. Terrific job by Terry Stotts and the Blazers. That could be a fun series, Clippers-Blazers.
Loose ball foul, stay down here on the Celtics. And here's Brad Stevens, last time out.
Hey, we've got to play better offensively than we are right now. Defensively, we're doing a good job. Make good plays. Here we go.
Celtics shooting 32% at the start of this one.
1 of 9 from 3 as well, Mike.
Ian Clark's pass is taken away by Evan Turner. They brought Isaiah Thomas back in. See if the little man can get the offense going for this Celtic team. Limited just 5 points in this second quarter. Amir Johnson in the lane a long time. Going to get an N1 as Klay Thompson slaps him.
He said the exact thing you were talking about, Mike. In that lane for a long time. He said to Monty McCutcheon, 3 seconds, he never left. Amir, not a guy that's going to get a lot of touches, but he finds himself available underneath the rim, and he's got a good touch. Not a great touch from the free throw line, but been a solid contributor to this Boston team this season.
It's 11th year in the league. Amir Johnson turns 29 on May 1st. That last class of guys who came straight out of high school. There's Sean Livingston throwing it over the rim.
That's what I love what the Warriors do, Mike. They find mismatches. And it's Livingston on Rozier right now. We'll see if they come back to it next time down as Rozier throws up not a very good shot. Brad Stevens agrees.
Yes.
We got to play better offense. That's not what I meant, Tarek.
And it went right back to it, John. That time Livingston couldn't hit the shot. It's out of bounds last off of Sean. We talk about Steve Kerr and the great job that he and Luke Walton have done. Every time you watch the games, and the Warriors have been so much fun to watch. I asked Steve that you and Luke seem to have such a great, constant conversation going on, as you see right there. Amir Johnson's going to line up the 3, and that's well off.
24%er from behind the arc.
Clark on the drive, can't get it. Johnson on the rebound. And Steve said one thing that Luke is great at is seeing matchups and mismatches as the game goes on, as you were just talking about. Spates gets this rebound. And Steve said that their conversations during the game help the flow of the game. And hey, we've got this mismatch, let's go get it and go after it.
Right, and Luke made the point to Steve that, you know, as Spates knocks down the 3, got 23 threes for Mo Spates. Yep. We'll get back to the Steve Kerr, Luke Walton, Golden State up by 7.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. And Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Please enjoy Dos Equis responsibly.
Friday presented by State Farm back here in Oakland. Steve Kerr and Luke Walton have shared the head coaching duties this year because Steve was out coming back from the back surgery. Great job by Luke Walton. 39-4 to get things started. And now Steve Kerr 29-3. as this Warrior team sits on 68 wins with just 7 losses. John, we were talking about the collaboration of these guys in game and what they see, and how Luke helps Steve during the game.
Well, right, because he said when he was the head coach for those 43 games, he had so much more to worry about. He couldn't just look at just matchups. So now that he's sitting next to Steve, he can just concentrate on that as Jerebko knocks down a 3. And Steve said, well, I was never an assistant coach, so I don't know what you're talking about. He stepped in from the booth and won a championship. Usually it doesn't work that way.
After the GM experience, it's going to be interesting as Curry back on the floor. Draymond Green looking for another 3. This one's short. Be interesting. The ballots will come out here in the next few days for those who vote for Coach of the Year, first 3 teams, All NBA, MVP, etc. Will we voters be allowed to put a combo vote? Could I say Steve Kerr / Luke Walton would be my Coach of the Year, almost like an entry? Blocked inside by Bogut. Curry on the run, puts on the brakes, can't hit the 3. Rebound by Johnson. Be interesting to see if the league does clarify what voters will be able to do when we get the ballots in hand. Curry in transition. Brandon Rush has checked in, missed a game a couple of games ago.
Well, you're just voting for the Warrior team, right? So why not?
Well, the wins did not count, obviously, as Luke Walton wins. They were counted officially on Steve Kerr's record. Right. But Luke did win a Coach of the Month during the process of
Let's give it to Steve and let Steve give it to Luke. They can handle it on their own.
Well, there is a precedent if you think about it, not in the NBA, but in the NFL. Remember the year that Chuck Pagano with the Colts was out for cancer treatment, Bruce Arians was the Coach of the Year that year. Chuck came back, finished the season, that last game, then the playoff game. Arians went on to Arizona and had success. So it'll be interesting to see if the league clarifies that for the voters. As we get close to the award season.
Did Pagano get the record that Arians had?
The coaching record?
Yeah, I mean, did they do it the same as the NBA, as someone who knocks one down? It doesn't even matter. If you say it's Luke Walton's record or Steve's, it's this team.
Right.
And when they get the record, which they will get, this is your Coach of the Year.
Oh, no doubt. So, Rush can't get that 3 to go. Back the other way come the Celtics. It's been a very thin offensive quarter. Boston, which has been very good on back-to-backs this year. 11-6, the second game of back-to-backs. Struggling on the offensive end here tonight. Turner. Just his 17th three-pointer of the season. Run puts Boston on top again by 1.
This starting unit has not been good for the Warriors here tonight. Another turnover.
That is 11 turnovers and just 13 made field goals. Sloppy first half for the Warriors. The chase for history and the mark set by the Chicago Bulls of 72 wins. The Warriors trying to get to 73. The key principals who have played the lead roles over the last couple of decades removed between these two great franchises. Very simply put, it was a count up, now it's a count down. Think of a playoff series. Win 4 out of 7. They now need to win 4 of their final 7 to tie the 72 Bulls. 5 of 7 to break the record. And John, by winning that game in Utah on Wednesday, it means that the Warriors do not have to win a road game. All they have to do is take care of home court, and they would get the record of 73 wins.
I'm going to say they get 6 of those 7 games, Mike, and win 74. Is that no? That'd be 74, wouldn't it? No,
6 more would be 74.
Yeah,
6 more would be 74. 68-7.
Going 74.
Sullinger putting the moves on Thompson, and Rush, who's come in and given Golden State a couple of minutes here, just trying to find the right mix. As the Warriors have been a bit out of sorts, and the extended defense by Avery Bradley on Curry has given Steph little room until a little screen got him 3.
What were you saying? You were going to say it was working pretty well.
It was.
It was. And that's the beauty of Steph Curry, because that line means nothing. He can shoot it from so deep as Thomas still can't get one to go.
Isaiah's 0 for 7.
Good tip from Sullinger. Here's that great screen, and The problem was that Isaiah Thomas was supposed to be the guy that steps up. He's not normally in that position. He's the guy getting screened. You're not accustomed, and that's what the Warriors do. They put you in situations you're not accustomed to being in.
Now switch. He lost Bradley. Thomas was defending. Green's on the drive. Bogut on the cleanup.
Draymond Green just stared down Monty McCutcheon, the official, wanting that foul as he went right into the chin of Kelly Olynyk.
And then Draymond's going to get a foul for overacting on the Sullinger screen. He wanted an explanation. Monty probably not going to give him much of one. Sullinger comes to the line. We remind you, Sage Steele, the guys back in Los Angeles. We'll have the Toyota halftime. Talk about this chase for history and the play of the week. All ahead on the Toyota halftime.
Yeah, Monty usually doesn't give you much on the court. Very enjoyable in the offseason. Grows a nice long beard, wears funny clothes.
Is that right? Funny clothes.
Oh, yeah, funny clothes.
Funny clothes.
I'm playing a couple golf tournaments with Monty, and we won't speak about his golf game, but he dresses well.
You know, we can't all walk around and make 7 birdies in a row like you do and shoot in the high 60s when you play with Smoltz. Geez, I mean, just start dropping your golf ability.
I'm just a decent 12 handicap.
Yo, yeah, right. Get out of there. Monty McCutcheon's worked 12 NBA Finals games.
Great official.
Little weave at the top, try to lose the defenders. Klay Thompson goes to the basket and one. Fouled by Sullinger.
Well, all the space that's created because of the shooting opens this up. You see Amir Johnson can't leave Draymond Green in the corner. And the 3-man weave at the top creates the mismatch. It's Sullinger on Thompson. You can't stop him. Can't stay in front. And it's Thompson all the way to the rim.
Reigning player of the week. He only had 79 three-pointers in the month of March.
He only had 2 40-point games last week.
Complete
back-to-back. I mean, no one talks about Klay Thompson, really, around here. It's Curry, it's Draymond, and it's the team, kind of, you know? Mm-hmm. And he's pretty good.
Well, they do talk about his excellent defense. Bradley short.
They should.
Green the rebound here. And Warriors closed the last quarter very well. Try to do it again here. Steph trying to find some space, and Monty McCutcheon's got him for the elbow up by the head, and Curry in disbelief.
We've seen a couple of those. Now, Sean Livingston had one earlier. That's the 12th turnover for the Warriors, as Steph has an incredulous look on his face saying, I don't know what you're talking about, Monty.
Curry had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. That was a personal high for most turnovers in a quarter committed by Steph.
Remember last year or 2 years ago, he used to give his mom money for every turnover?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know. As Turner knocks down the mid-range, not so sure if that's still going, but she'd be having a field day here tonight. Call up Christian Louboutin.
Oh, he stepped on the mid-court line.
Oh,
yeah, great job. They extended the defense really well. And Boston, as you said earlier, does a very good job. And Avery Bradley's defensive prowess is really throwing Golden State's rhythm off tonight.
Yeah, this is a terrific trap. I mean, Amir Johnson cuts off Curry, and that foot on the line. Good trap, and another turn, 13 for the Warriors.
Marcus Smart not on the floor here. Boston likely to take the final shot of the quarter. And Brad Stevens will take the use it or lose it timeout. Isaiah Thomas, that's funny. He hasn't seen the ball go in the basket, so he was like walking away. Let me just get a quick shot in here. Bogut made sure this little shot didn't go in. Of course, the Final Four surrounding that, Major League Baseball opening day. Sunday, it's the Cardinals and the Pirates, the Blue Jays and the Rays, and the World Series rematch in primetime. The Mets and the Royals, our Sunday Night Baseball team with Dan Shulman, Aaron Boone, and Jess Mendoza will get it going. It's all available for you, streaming live on Watch ESPN, the ESPN app. What a great sports weekend it is. Isaiah Thomas shut out from the field. Avery Bradley gets the look before the break and knocks down the 3. 2.3 to go. Thompson gets the shot off, and it's short. And the Celtics will take the lead to the locker room as the 3rd consecutive half that Golden State's been held under 50. They had 40 in the first half against Utah, or 42, I should say. followed by 47 in the second half. Of course, that game went to overtime, but here they are held to 43 at the break. The Celtics lead the Warriors by 2, trying to get in the way of the chase for history. We'll check in with Sage Steele and the guys in Los Angeles, and the Toyota halftime comes up after this.
Steph Curry, you see, he gets by Isaiah Thomas, probably should have laid it in, but you keep your eye on Steph. He just drops the ball here. You normally don't see that. Slips on this play as he goes to the hole. Takes a tough contested turn away through, jump shot there. There's a pretty decent look at the corner. Doesn't get a lot of corner threes, can't get that to go. And Steve Kerr hasn't seen many halves like this, particularly here at Oracle.
The 7 turnovers tying a career high for the first half. More turnovers than points for Steph Curry. This Boston story is interesting. This is a great team to look at the collective group because there's no one guy who you walk in. I know Isaiah Thomas is an all-star. You say, wow, they blow you away with talent. But it's some of the parts, and you saw that on display again in the first half.
Yeah, well, they do it by committee. And
right.
Today we've got, 4 guys, 3 guys in double figures. Isaiah Thomas yet to score, and here they are at Oracle up in the game. But they do a great job of defending. 16.4 first turnovers a game, second in the NBA. They've already got 13 for the Warriors. They've scored 16 points off of those turnovers, and then they defend the 3, and then the fast break. Warriors, 3 fast break points at the half. They average 20.
Again, the historical context of this one, Golden State, so many different numbers to talk about. Number 1 is they're up 5 on San Antonio with 7 to go, so the magic number is 3. Any combination of victories by the Warriors or losses by the Spurs equaling 3, and Golden State will lock down the number 1 seed for the NBA playoffs as long as they are in it. Of course, trying to get to win 69, they can become the 4th team in league history with 69 wins if they get one here.
Well, equally as frustrated as Steph might be, Isaiah Thomas is having his hand full with this Golden State Warrior defense.
Curry got a little space, knocks down the 3 to get the half going. His 3rd 3 of the night, 364 made threes this season.
How about the Warriors had 13 turnovers and just 10 assists at the half? How many times has that happened during the season? Very rarely.
Avery Bradley off of the 3. Sullinger a pest in there, but Bogut gets it. Golden State back the other way with a 1-point lead. Largest lead's been 7. Give and go, Curry and Thompson off Clay's hands. Steph again! Steph again! Timeout, Boston.
You think they got the message from Coach Steve Kerr? And having the MVP is not bad either.
6-0 John in 33 seconds, and the Warriors on top by 4.
Well, a message sent from Steve Kerr, but Steph Curry can shoot it from anywhere, and that time a contested long 3 and then a broken play. Hey, when it's your year, it's your year. Thompson somehow finds Steph Curry wide open in the corner, and he knocks that down for a perfect beginning to the 3rd for the Warriors.
But John, it's interesting you say that, when it's your year. There have been teams with chances to take shots and win games that haven't gone down. There has not been a stretch where they have missed key players for one of those NBA scheduling 5 games in 7 nights type things. So everything has worked out in the Warriors' favor, and they've taken advantage with just superior play and great confidence to be in position to break this Bulls record. Isaiah Thomas finally on the board for Boston, his first field goal, and it's a 2-point Warrior lead.
Yeah, I mean, you go on those road trips and a guy eats a bad piece of fish. I mean, like, come on, there's so many things that can happen. Not really. I mean, to be as healthy as they have been, and look, Iguodala's been out for an extended period. Ezeli's been out. Other than that, they really haven't any sustained injuries. But that goes to Bob Myers and this staff putting together a group, as Isaiah now getting it going, put together a team that's 12 deep. More than that, really, you have inactive guys that have played. McAdoo plays. Ian Clark, guys they've sent down to the D-League. So it's just amazing what they've been able to do. And you and I sat here and looked at your board as it says 68-7. It's amazing to look at a number 68-7.
It looks so strange when you write it down.
Well, so they can go this season without losing consecutive games, as the Spurs too.
Yes.
It's never been done in the league. 2 teams might be able to do it this season.
Andrew Bogut's going to be called for the foul. Isaiah Thomas hit those back-to-back field goals, as you mentioned, getting going here a little bit. Third foul on Bogut. Well, tomorrow, April 2nd, World Autism Awareness Day. You've seen so many of the folks wearing the blue puzzle piece pins on their lapel. Many NBA arenas can be lit up blue, joining iconic landmarks around the world to support Autism Speaks. Light It Up Blue campaign. 70 million affected worldwide by autism. Join NBA Cares and Autism Speaks in raising awareness of families living with autism. NBAcares.com to find out more.
Quick 6 for Isaiah Thomas.
And quickly, Boston back on top by 2. It's the Celtic team that goes to see the Lakers on Sunday to end this West Coast trip. Thompson leaning into Sullinger and scores to tie it.
Well, and that was Steph Curry setting the screen for Klay Thompson, who he just curled, read the defense, and gets right into the cup.
Thomas tried to make a little pass to Sullinger, deflected off of Curry, but wasn't a kick. Thomas trying to yell N1, draw the contact. He is hot, but he didn't get the call.
He's lucky that no official saw his gesture.
Draymond Green to the deck, took it away from Turner, and got fouled.
Now this guy can defend positions 1 through 5, and that's part of his value. Great strip, and then the great hustle to go after the loose ball, and Turner winds up whacking him in the face.
You saw that the Utah game on Wednesday night. Draymond was in there, switching out on a screen, and then coming back inside to get the rebound and trigger the fast break. And so many possessions this year. He's done big man, small man, big man work. Klay Thompson.
Well, he goes from guarding Rudy Gobert to Gordon Hayward,
exactly,
to Rodney Hood.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't
all
really
in the
matter.
span of a couple of possessions.
Right? Yeah. No. I mean, you have the luxury of being able to switch off. As Sullinger's been knocking down the J here. 5 for 8 for 13 for Jared Sullinger.
Klay Thompson, quick splash, a 3 from Thompson.
How many times have we seen that tonight, Mike? Score on one end, one pass, and the Warriors are taking a deep 3 or laying it in.
Isaiah Thomas off the curl to the basket. He's going. Saw one go through the hoop, and now this pace is picked up. Warriors leading by 1. And inside, Bradley denies Klay Thompson in the lane, and Turner back the other way. Thomas hit by Green and fouled. What a great story the Isaiah Thomas story is. The last pick of the draft by Sacramento in 2011. And people starting to believe in his game. He kept building, but still the doubters there, and making the All-Star team this year. And then banking that All-Star appearance, John, with that great month of March, scoring 20 points or more in every game and averaging 26 a game.
We got a timeout. Why do we have a timeout?
Steph Curry is bleeding.
Oh.
So they will attend to that, with the Warriors leading by 1. Well, we take a look, John, at the national TV schedule. As we mentioned, Sunday, Oklahoma City will be in Houston. That'll be on ABC, also on ESPN Radio. You will be there. Sunday night, these Warriors continue their quest, could be for win 70 on the year. They'll be taking on Portland. And on Tuesday night, that'll be an important game both ways, with Detroit in Miami and Minnesota back here at Oracle. A 4-game homestand for the Warriors tonight. Portland Sunday, Minnesota Tuesday, San Antonio on Thursday. If they won all of those, that would get them to 71. And their first chance at winning 72 and tying the Bulls record would be in Memphis on Saturday. Breaking the record, I should say. That would be number 73. And now Isaiah Thomas has blood to be tended to. I mentioned earlier, John, the record and the reality of the record coming to roost for these players on the Golden State team. We had a chance to visit with Steph Curry this morning, and he was so candid about it. Let's listen into the sound from Steph talking about being in the game and down in Utah in the fourth quarter, and the reality that set in with the record in sight.
When we were in Utah, down whatever with 6 minutes left. That might have been the first time I actually thought about it in game of like, this game means something, you know, reaching 73, this might be a big win for us considering how the rest of the game went. You know, over 82 games, though, that night is kind of one that might slip away just with the schedule and how you're playing and things like that. We dug deep and found a way to get it done. And I think I was on the court. That was the first time I can honestly say I actually thought about the record in the context of what we were doing.
So appreciate the candor that, you know, in game it was like, hey, if we don't get this one, this is going to be a lot harder. Both free throws missed, out of bounds off of Amir Johnson.
I thought that was interesting that was the first time in game he thought about it and how important that was to this group. Mind you, that was a back-to-back game for them. They played Washington here the night before, and that's very difficult heading up to Utah, or you head up to Denver on the second night of a back-to-back. Great look, Curry.
And Bogut on the finish. Warriors lead by 3.
And by the way, I love what Quinn Snyder's doing with that Utah Jazz team. That team has a very bright future.
Leaving a lot of folks to believe that would be a difficult, or maybe the most difficult potential first-round matchup. Curry fouls Isaiah Thomas. That's 2 on Steph.
Beautiful set play here as you see Sullinger, all the attention that Steph Curry garners. 3 players looking at Steph Curry with the basketball, and Bogut slips behind him for the easy lob.
Thomas hit behind a couple of screens at the top, and Isaiah knocks down the 3. 0 points in the first half, 11 points really in the last 4 minutes of this third quarter. And the steal by Turner. 2-on-1 with Thomas. Isaiah to the basket. And the Celtics take the lead, and Steve Kerr calls for time. That's the resiliency of this Celtics team all season long. Back on top in Oakland. Breanna Stewart and UConn go for a 4th straight championship game and then title. They take on Oregon State, and then the Cinderella matchups, Washington against 4-seed Syracuse. The women's Final Four presented by Capital One in Indianapolis on Sunday on ESPN and ESPN2. Doris Burke and Beth Mowens will have the call of the women's Final Four, the championship game on Tuesday. John, I don't know if you've heard, but Syracuse is in both the men's and the women's Final Four.
That was
coming
the
up here. That's the women's Final Four. Yes, they're in both.
No, I know. Congratulations to your Syracuse.
It may be short-lived, but it's a fun weekend ahead. Curry with the miss, and Isaiah Thomas has really turned this around. 13 points in under 4 minutes after that timeout that Brad Stevens called right away to start the third. Avery Bradley on skates, past Barnes. Beautiful move by Bradley.
Wow. Boston just kind of playing the same way, spreading the floor and just taking the Warriors off the dribble from the top. That time Bradley with a beautiful take.
Steph out of the corner. Harrison Barnes finding that stroke tonight. Not there. Sullinger on the glass. 7 in a row for the Celtics.
I'm hearing some murmurs here at Oracle, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Surprising to see how sloppy the Warriors have played here thus far.
2 guys who went at the Big Ten, both in their 4th year out of Ohio State and Michigan State. Good defense by Green on Sullinger. Draymond back the other way. Boston team sticking to the thoughts and principles that Brad Stevens laid out for them. They want the foul on Bradley as he closed out. Thompson didn't hit the 3. And Bradley on this other end takes the 3.
I'd like to see Barnes take Amir Johnson off the dribble. He had a clear side here, last possession down, and now an offensive foul on the screen. Bogut is going to get tagged, and he's down grabbing his left wrist, it looks like, or ribs.
Bogut took the worst of that collision, and Andrew Bogut is down. And now just getting up. He was coming out anyway. Anderson Varish out for him, but grabbing that midsection.
And you'll see here is Bradley just
that forearm across. Caught him there. Just caught him. And Bogut in some discomfort. Seemed to be above the waist.
He had some rib issues last year.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and also a couple years ago. So could be some cause for concern.
Injuries are wrong along the way. Gruesome elbow injury he had, remember, a few seasons back in Milwaukee. Fans unhappy with this call. Gonna go against Anderson Varejao. He checked in. He was coming in anyway for Bogut. His second. Fans reacting to the replay, don't like it.
Well, it's 15 fouls, Golden State to 6 for Boston on the game. You know, you put your hand in there, it just kind of looks funny. That big, you just got to go up and contest if you're Anderson Varejao, but 15 to 6 right now is the foul disparity.
And free throw shot. Boston has attempted 19. Golden State 5. Andrew Bogut joining the athletic training staff, walking up the tunnel there. Upper left of your screen as Curry hits a three.
Well, simple screen and roll. You can't just try to fight over the top and get no help. Amir Johnson, no show, no double. That's a layup for Steph Curry.
5 threes for Steph. Decibels up. Barbosa down. Reachie Amir Johnson. They're going down like bowling pins on this end of the floor tonight. There'll be a foul call for the push on Draymond Green. Or they get Barnes.
I think they get Barnes.
Barnes first.
Yeah.
Thank you, JB.
And now Avery Bradley and Draymond Green jawing at each other.
In the game in Utah 2 nights ago, the Jazz were horrific at the line. 13 of 29. Boston is 10 of 20 shooting free throws. Of 21.
Those weren't very close.
Steph draws a crowd. He turned it over. Another Curry turnover. A blur. Thomas the other way. Great finish.
Absolutely.
Johnny,
went to the right.
Yes, and he's so good at driving that defender almost under the rim where he can't do anything about it.
Exactly. You use the rim as another defender, and now Draymond Green can't block the shot. Very rarely do you see Isaiah Thomas get his layups blocked. One of the best in the league at going to the rim, and this time in transition after the Curry turnover. It's a good kick from Sullinger all the way across court, and you see, just kind of fends off Green, gets him under the rim, and uses the right for the beautiful finish.
The foul on Bradley, his first 7th foul of the game on Boston. Varejao rolls, finds Barbosa, guys who've known each other since they were teenagers. Leandro Barbosa. Thomas again, and one! Isaiah Thomas with a third quarter takeover for the Celtics.
Miscommunication there between Steph and Leandro Barbosa. Steph thought that Barbosa was going to pick him up. You see Steph vacated the area, Barbosa did rather, and no one picks up the ball until Isaiah Thomas gets all the way into the paint.
John, in exactly 7 minutes, Isaiah Thomas has scored 18 points. He's gone from 0 to 18 in 7 minutes.
Well, 14 straight games he's led the Celtics in scoring.
Tough Curry guy get over the line quickly, and they do, beating the 8-second count. Barbosa bangs down a three.
That's a bad shot to take, honestly, and that's what the Warriors do. You got nobody down there rebounding, your team's reeling, and he fires up a three.
Marcus Smart has checked in. He's got it. Sullinger. Silencer. Jarrett a three.
Wow, Sullinger knocked down a couple. He's a 28%er on the year.
Curry to the basket. Would not finish. Back to Barnes. Steph is free. Steph for three. For Curry tonight. Thomas carried it, lobbed it. Amir Johnson finishes.
You're right on it. That was a carry. There's no question. The official did not see that, but he stays with the play. Well, we got ourselves a barn burner here. 14 more minutes of this.
Steph with space. Curry fouled, shooting the three. by Bradley.
How many offensive rebounds lead to open threes? You know, I'd love to see a stat. We have stats for everything. Open threes come from offensive boards, and that's part of being able to defend the three, which is why very surprising that Boston is as good as they are defending the three, because they are a very poor defensive rebounding team. Give up a lot of offensive rebounds.
Curry was shaking his right wrist after this foul.
Well, there's a screen and roll that Bradley goes under. You can't go under a screen and roll with Steph Curry, particularly when he's that close to the three-point line.
Curry shooting 45% from three, 50% from the field, 90% from the line. Trying to have that magical shooting season of 50, 40, and 90 in terms of percentages. 6 men have done it in league history.
Well, and Nash, he only got to go over 45 from three while getting the 50 from the field and 90 from the free throw line. Saw Steve today at practice.
Yes, he was at the Warriors practice. Curry has 18 in the third. Bradley off, rebound, deflects in off of Draymond Green, then the hand of Marcus Smart.
Saw Funky one of those the other night, didn't we? Against Carolina. Didn't Carolina against Notre Dame?
Deep Steph.
Tony Robbins is going nuts over here to my left.
Olynyk with a response. Boston does not blink. Love that about this team. What a great quality.
Your turn, my turn, huh? Nolan Richardson.
Bradley's got to pick him up midcourt. Steph taking over. Steph finds Varejao cutting. He's fouled.
This is too good right here. Oh my goodness. I mean, he's a foot inside the Warrior emblem. You see, you go under the screen. You can't go under the screen wherever it is. The range, we've never seen anything like it. Off the dribble, never seen anything like it.
He has 21 in the quarter. He's still 3 points away from the 6th best scoring quarter that he's had this year. He has a 28, a 28, a 25, and a pair of 24s. Wow, pretty good. Isaiah Thomas, by the way, is 18 in the quarter. 3 shy of the best against the Warriors this year. Omri Caspi of Sacramento at 21 in a quarter. Thomas out. Smart in. Olynyk got too cute on the push. Barbosa trying to chase it down. He did. Livingston. Curry. Fake it. Take it. Making! Olynyk, trap, trouble, hit, foul.
Well, there's your 24. Wow. I just marvel every time you watch this guy. Under control, Rozier, the young fella, can't go for the pump fake. And I love the way Sean Livingston waited for Steph Curry. He saw him. He knows he's got to go, and you get him the basketball.
Well, even at 79, at the half, Steph had 6 points on 2 of 6 in the field. He has hit all 8 of his shots here in this third quarter. But Golden State Boston hanging right there with him, trading punch for punch. 2-for-1 opportunity for the Warriors here. Bradley right up in his grill, 35 feet away. So Steph put it on the deck. Bradley, a quick hand to knock it away. Bradley the other way. Foul.
How many turns now is that for Steph? That's 9?
That is Curry's 9th turnover, correct.
Wow.
And Varejao's 4th foul, with Bogut back in the locker room being checked after taking the hit above the waist in the rib area earlier this quarter. After we wrap it up here at Oracle, Stan and Neil in Los Angeles. We'll have SportsCenter Spring training, NHL, all the NBA tonight, post-game from here, and get you ready for the Final Four coming up tomorrow in Houston. Sports Center after the game. Boston's got to be very careful about violations of the free throw line. You can't come across the free throw line until the ball gets to the cylinder. You can't break that free throw line. The shooter. Yeah. It's a lane violation, and they do it on many free throw attempts. It's the 9th time I've seen it happen here tonight.
Well, I saw Russell Westbrook get a tip in the other day as the shooter. Very rare.
Barbosa out of the corner on the deck. Look at the passing to Barnes. No. Marcus Smart's got it. Turns, looks at the clock, flings it, and that is the end of the quarter. 21 in the third quarter for Stephen Curry. 6 for 6 from 3, hit all his shots. We got a ball game here. Going to the fourth. Curry made the noise, but Boston leads at Oracle.
Welcome back to Oakland, Steve. Steph Curry got hot in the third quarter, but you're unable to get stops on the other end. What would you emphasize to your team on defense?
To try harder. I didn't think we played very hard until maybe the last 4 minutes of the quarter, and we finally woke up.
The players want this 73. They want the unbeaten home record. Will you go early to them in the fourth quarter as you did last game in Utah?
No, we'll keep playing the same way we always do, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Go back to Mike Tirico and John Barry.
All right, Jay, fourth quarter begins with Harrison Barnes off the glass to make it a one-point game. That was a very good question from Jay and a very honest answer from Steve Kerr. They get caught up in the record and going for all of this, but Steve is trying to keep the big picture in perspective. Rozier on the drive, the rookie denied. He's had a tough time going up against most Spates. It's out of bounds last off of Spates.
Well, they taxed their guys in Utah on Wednesday. The most minutes combined for Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. So I would doubt that they would do that here tonight. Let's see if this group here can restore order.
Again, still playing without Andre Iguodala, Festus Ezeli. Both are getting closer to coming back. Olynyk with the turn and hook to extend the Boston lead to 3. Steve Kerr saying before the game that both Ezeli and Iguodala may be involved in some 3-on-3 practice with the guys from the end of the bench who don't play as much, trying to get closer to activity the final 2 weeks of the season. Livingston.
Yeah, well, remember that they're doing this, still playing this well without Iguodala and Ezeli. And Iguodala, it maybe is important a piece after you get past Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. I mean, he's huge for that bench. He can make plays. He guards 1 through 5 as well. He's kind of the Draymond Green of the second unit, is basically what he is. Because he can do so many different things.
Boston ball, the cut by Jerebko on the pass, inbounds pass. No coach ever happy to see that. Easy a basket. Jerebko defending Spates. Olynyk there with size as well. Good defense and last touched by Golden State. Here's Brad Stevens a moment ago.
That was beautiful. Now, when Curry gets going like that, we can't overreact emotionally to that. You did a great job. Just bet back, and play. Excellent.
That's great. You think Brad Stevens has ever emotionally overreacted to anything? Ever?
He is as calm as cool as a young coach as you'll ever see. As Turner gets his mid-range to go, and Boston, boy, they're showing some serious mental toughness. Just like he just said, impressive. Don't overreact to this crowd, to Steph Curry knocking down crazy shots. Keep playing.
Barbosa. Ricochets to Marcus Smart. Jerebko thought about the straight-on triple, reteed it instead. Space, and he tried to take the advantage on Spates here. Marcus Smart, a little scoopage, and now it's a 7-point Celtic lead. They scored 6 in a row. Remember, the Warriors have not lost here since January 27. of 2015 against Chicago, and Steve Kerr doesn't like the flow with this second unit and takes a timeout. Sage tied with Dallas, both 38 and 38. And Tony Robbins unleashing the power within. The motivational speaker here, and the Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson. Reggie turned 70 in May. He looks great,
like
doesn't
he's 50.
Of course, he played for the A's for so many years, Philadelphia, then here in Oakland, 5-time champ, twice the World Series MVP. Here are the Warriors struggling. Klay Thompson back in at the 9-minute mark. Really wasn't an offensive option exerting himself, and Thompson short on the shot. And here come the Celtics with a chance to take a 9 or 10-point lead at a place where the Warriors haven't lost in 14 months of the regular season. Again, they get Smart on Spates. He'll step back for three and got them all. Marcus Smart takes the lead to 10.
Well, if you're Spates, you did the right thing. This is a guy that shoots 25% from the three-point line. Last time he blows right by you. You got to live with that. He got a nice contest. Credit Marcus Smart for knocking it down.
9 in a row. The murmurs get louder. Ian Clark on the floor as well. Spates over Olynyk, and Olynyk in disbelief that he is the one who calls for his second personal foul.
Wow. Looked like Olynyk maybe got there in time on Spates. Brad Stevens didn't like it. But the Warriors reeling here early in the fourth.
9 in a row scored by Boston. Spates! A freight train to the basket.
Well, it's got to happen on this end. Like we talked about it, it's the Warriors. Yeah, they can outscore you, but this is where they're great as well, and people don't talk about it. They can lock you down, and they're going to need to here tonight.
Evan Turner.
Great shot making from Boston. Now, that's good defense.
All half. And you know what I want to go back to? The timeout after the 2 threes by Curry right at the start of the half. Brad Stevens, no, we're going to stop this right here.
Yep.
And Boston has dug in since then. Olynyk is looking. Olynyk inside. Olynyk again. Protected by Barnes. Smart almost knocked it away. And they get it for the elbow apparently up by his mouth. I could not see. I was screened out by the player running in front of me if it was the elbow or the acting.
Yeah, I'm going to go with an acting job. I mean, that's not.
Well, the elbow got up there first.
It got up there, but he didn't throw it. It was there, and Smart just kind of rushed into it. I didn't think there was any reach back to hit Smart, but nonetheless, quality acting job. We're near Hollywood.
Livingston was going to pick up the foul inside. We saw Andrew Bogut leave earlier for x-rays. Jay Donde's got an update for us.
Jay? Mike, he is getting x-rayed right now, and his return is uncertain.
Okay, x-rays on the rib area for Bogut, so we'll keep an eye on that. Here comes Curry back in at 7:20. Usually Steve Kerr is really good about holding to the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter when Steph comes back in. Gave that indication to Jay earlier, but much like the game in Utah the other night, he's going to come in here a bit earlier, trying to save this one and get win 69. Turner blanketed by Barnes. Draymond Green takes it away. It is 4-on-3. Jerebko. Great job to slow down the fast break. And a deflection, too. And it's out of bounds off Barnes. What hustle started by Jerebko.
Keystone Cops out here. I mean, ball's going everywhere. 20 turnovers for the Golden State Warriors.
They average 15 again. And Boston does it often.
Very good at forcing turnovers are the Celtics. They've been shooting free throws well tonight. It'd be a real blowout.
They wanted to travel on Olynyk. It's out last off of Boston. They say Golden State ball.
Are these fans upset? As you mentioned earlier, Mike, 14 months since they've seen their team lose. They're mad. They don't like this. Down 10, 6:46 to go. Uncharted waters here at Oracle.
NBA record, Steph a three. That one is short after the hot shooting. Third quarter, Rozier saves it. Finds Jerebko. And gets it back to Olynyk transition triple. Jerebko and Barbosa collide. See where this will go. Going to be the push and the foul on Boston.
Well, I love Jerebko thinking twice about taking that early three. He hits Olynyk, and then he just fires. I mean, that's a big quick. You got things going your way. You're getting anything you want. You got to slow it down at this point.
Curry gets Green, rolling to the basket. Barbosa, corner three. And Brad Stevens takes timeout. What's been a very low-scoring quarter so far as the Warriors try to fight back and keep their pursuit alive. Tonight's breakthrough performance, which is brought to you by Metro PCS. Isaiah Thomas was shut out and then went off, and so too, John, have the rest of the Celtics. 50 points in the first 18 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, 4 Celtics in double figures. Jerebko just under 10 with 9. Marcus Smart has been terrific, and the defense has been really good. I know they haven't covered the three-point line quite like they're used to doing, but other than that, shots contested, turning them over, 20 turnovers for the Golden State Warriors for 23 points, and they've kept Golden State from fast breaking. 6 fast break points tonight for the Warriors. They average over 20 per game.
Marcus Smart, Evan Turner, lob for Sullinger. Not saved, and a turnover out of the timeout. And this is a Celtic team that thrives in those ATOs after timeouts. Brad Stevens so great at drawing up plays. That their 11th turnover of the night.
Well, Golden State did it on the road in Utah, trailing at the 6-minute mark. See if they can do it here at Oracle.
Thompson across the lane. Sullinger the rebound. Team fouls, by the way, halfway through the quarter. 2 on Boston, 1 on Golden State. Avery Bradley ready to come back in as Isaiah Thomas, the other starting guard, is in. Got to the elbow. It almost got deflected in, and it was kept alive to Sullinger. Brandon Rush went up to get in the way, and he ended up deflecting it to Sullinger. He's got the foul, and here's Steve Kerr from the prior huddle.
Hey, there's a ton of time, right? We can make this up in like 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute, right? We got to be smart. Got to be solid defensively. Everybody got on the glass and execute down here. Good hard cuts.
It's a nice luxury to be able to look at your team.
We can do this in a minute.
Oh, we can get this back in a minute. No problem. Great staff. You see Ron Adams there, the defensive guru, to Steve Kerr is right on the left of your screen. And next to him, Jaron Collins. You mentioned Bruce Frazier, the shooting coach, earlier.
How about, do you think this is a... Next time Sullinger goes to line, you let me know. You're not supposed to be able to do that. It looks like it's a possible shot attempt. It's a little
so
decoy,
low,
right?
Really?
It is, but I mean...
You mean to get the guys on the lane? Draymond on the drive. Counted in the circle was Smart. It's a blocking foul and a chance for the three-point play.
Well, Draymond got this team off to a great start, and this time you see it's Steph Curry that sets the screen. What does that do? The point guard is not used to being the man that has to show or trap. His man's not the man that sets the screen normally, but Steph Curry sets a lot of screens. You got to be ready for it. Isaiah Thomas wasn't.
Down to 6, 5.5 to go. Sullinger at the dribble handoff, taken away by Curry. Good defense. Sullinger inside, no. Tipped it in. Good work by the big man.
Great second effort.
Whew. A good quick second jump, too.
That was.
This is what we talked about. He didn't have this gas in the second half last year. Draymond from the top. Triple time.
5. Hey, they shoot the 3-ball well enough. They can take it down by 1 every possession and still win this thing. How many threes is that, Mike? 19?
Yeah, 18. Isaiah Thomas blanketed, taken away by Curry. Barbosa, 3 green shirts back. Rush, Green again. Rebound Turner, 4:25 to go.
House would have came down on that one. I don't mind the look. Just made one. Good fast break push.
Rush the block. Green secures. The MVP the other way. Rush corner three. Green weak side rebound. He's got the last 8. 3-point game in Oracle.
Well, you're able to put so much pressure on a defense, Mike. You push, total mismatches. Isaiah Thomas ends up on Green. Can't get him off the glass.
Green switches on Thomas. Tried to get in the way. Turned it over. Warriors with numbers. Rush lost the handle. Bradley with a great defensive play. Isaiah Thomas on the other end. Timeout coming, Golden State.
Crucial drop right there from Rush. That's an easy that's a 4-point swing.
And I don't know, it was in transition. I couldn't tell if Avery Bradley got a hand on it to knock it away. You think it was just a drop?
I thought he dropped it. We'll take a look. But nonetheless, it's a 4-point swing.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. We exist to assist. And in part by the new R-rated comedy The Boss, starring Melissa McCarthy, in theaters everywhere April 8th. And Toyota, let's go places.
This week's national TV schedule brought to you by PlayStation. Oklahoma City, Houston, Sunday on ABC. Golden State's next game is against Portland's on NBA TV. Then on TNT Tuesday, Detroit, Miami, and Minnesota, Golden State. You'll see their national games along the way here with the Warriors. That last play, John, was not Bradley's. Just Rush couldn't collect it.
Yeah, he'll get the credit for the steal, but yeah, Rush puts the ball down and just kind of fumbles it. It turns out to be a huge play for the Boston Celtics. Let's see what Steve Kerr comes up with here. Normally very good at side out of bounds.
To the screen with Curry. He's got it. Livingston the bump. Livingston to the basket. Draymond Green thought about 3. Steph, good closeout by Thomas. Clock at 6. Curry, tough shot. No. And Sullinger on the glass for the Celtics.
Draymond, go ahead and shoot that basketball. You've knocked down 3 threes on the night. Go ahead and take the shot.
What a night for Sullinger. Double-double, 20 and 11 boards now. Big trip for the C's, up 5. Isaiah left hand, no. Thompson the rebound, 2:40 to go. Green transition, Thompson's got space. No, rimmed it out. Remember, the Warriors have not lost a home regular season game since January 27 of 2015. They lost twice at home in the postseason last year. But an NBA record streak on the line. Turner, baseline, Livingston, good defense. Turner hit it anyway. And all of a sudden it's 7 with 2 to go. And a lot of angst in Oracle. Isaiah Thomas will be called here for the foul. 2:02 to go. It's the 4th team foul. It's not in the act. So it'll be side out Golden State.
It's just the 13th foul for Boston the whole evening, Mike. That's a low number.
Yeah,
13 fouls?
Especially the way the Warriors played, all the screen and rolls,
yeah,
sure. So many pickles.
Well, and look, if they shot the free throw well, they're just 17 to 28 as Boston. I mean, if they shot it well, this thing would be out of reach.
Klay Thompson hits the right side 3. Great patience. Livingston had an open look, but waited for that screen for Klay. 4-point game. Sullinger. ISO on Green. Sullinger. No. Curry the rebound. Minute 30 left. Steph behind the back. Steph to the basket. Laid it up and in.
That's some kind of move, Mike. Put it down, go behind your back left hand, chase it down, and go glass with a little English on it for the finish. And you're right where you need to be now for the Golden State Warriors after being down 7 a moment ago. Stop and score, and you probably take the lead with how many threes these guys knocked down.
They have given us a great regular season, and it continues here. And we're just starting April, and the good stuff's coming in the playoffs. 1:25 to go. All-star Isaiah Thomas. Avery Bradley. LaMarcus Smart. Turner cuts and hits. The number 2 overall pick back in the 2010 draft gives Boston a 4-point lead.
Well, terrific mid-range shooter, and Livingston lost him right there, and Turner made him pay, who's having a heck of a night tonight.
7 to go, Harrison Barnes. Isaiah Thomas, not Bradley, guarding Curry. Klay Thompson off the screen. Bradley's right with him. And Amir Johnson leaves 5 to shoot.
Yeah.
Good defense by Boston. Terrific. It will be Livingston to trigger. Isaiah Thomas getting on the high side here. Thinking Curry's going to pop out for 3. Green got the screen anyway. And here is Steph for 3. Barnes, big rebound. Team Livingston inside of a minute. Champs down by 4. Green orchestrates. Cutting is Livingston. Denied at the rim. And the foul is called from the outside on Turner.
We'll have to take a look at that. That looked awfully clean. But I love the play. Steph Curry's coming off of 2 screens. Yeah. I don't want to call it. That was a heck of a play, I thought, by Turner. You know what? He got the left. He got the right wrist.
And
he did.
Monty McCutcheon's worked 12 finals games. He was on the far side and got that look and called it. Livingston at the line.
Got the right wrist.
Makes the first.
But again, all the attention on Steph Curry as he came off the double, and after Livingston set the screen, he slips. And a great find. Turner almost makes a great play to save the day for Boston. And where do you go now if you're the Celtics, Mike? And this is what we talk about. This is an excellent team. A lot of really good players. That's why it's a stars league, because you know you go to your star. Where do they go right now? This offensive possession.
Amir Johnson, tight Green, throws him down. It's on the ground, trying to get a timeout call. Green came away with it. Golden State got the ball and got the timeout.
How did Green get that ball, Mike?
Ball after their timeout. How does Draymond Green get this? Should there be a foul here?
Well, first of all, he locks him up with one arm, gets the ball, gets loose, and then he just falls over the top. I thought Boston was calling a timeout.
They were.
But somehow, Green falls over the top of Johnson and gets it. That's clean there. That's all basketball. And as he turns, a lot of times an official will make a foul call, but he didn't. There's the ball. Looked like he's trying to call timeout. And Green falls on the top of him and gets it.
And his teammate over here, I believe it was Marcus Smart, was trying to get the timeout as well. And as all that was going on, Draymond got the ball, and the Warriors able to get the timeout. So 30.4 to go. The Celtic lead is down to 2. And always in the middle of the mix, Draymond Green has gotten possession here for the Warriors.
Just not enough time for a 2-for-1, taking it here in the back court. Maybe if you take it in the front court, you could take a quick look, but no way they can go 2-for-1. This has got to be a quality look, and it doesn't matter how much time's left on the clock, Mike. Boston, if they secure a rebound on a miss, will have a great chance to win this ball game.
In the hands of the MVP, Curry. The double comes. Green lost the handle. Amir Johnson has it. And he's fouled with 23.1 to go.
Well, unfortunately, it's just the 3rd team foul. Because you'd love to have Amir Johnson going to the line, but now it's the first in the last 2 minutes. You have to foul one more time to send Boston to the line. And you know Amir Johnson's not going to get it.
Brad Stevens has 2 timeouts. Wonder if he'd take one here and take it to the front court. He will not. The inbounds here with Smart gets it to Turner. And Turner will kill some time here. Get across the midcourt line. They go for the trap and the steal. And the foul is called on Livingston.
I don't think they wanted the foul. They were going to stay in that trap and see if Turner could find somebody that was open. But nonetheless, a crucial turnover. Draymond Green mishandled. 22 turnovers now for the Golden State Warriors on the night.
Turner, very good free throw shooter. Their second best. 2 for 2 at the line. 30 seconds to get Amir Johnson's bleeding stopped. He's cut just right below the elbow.
And Mike, I just saw Steve Kerr say to Steph Curry, if he makes both, we're going to go. No timeout. because they only have one remaining.
Exactly.
So you go now, you try to get as quick a 2 as you possibly can, foul again, and that saves a timeout for them to set up a play potentially to tie or win the ball game.
This is so much about the Warriors and 68-7 trying to get the Bulls record of 72 wins and go 73. If they won all their home games, they would take care of business. They don't have to win any of the 2 road games. But while that's going to be the story, whatever happens, there's so much credit to Boston.
Absolutely.
Second of a back-to-back. They're in a fight for the playoff spot, trying to get to 3. What a great game they played again against the Warriors.
Well, in the first half, you have your leading scorer go scoreless. You hang in there. You get a hot third quarter from Steph Curry where he goes nuts and makes all 8 of his shots. And they have answered each and every punch from the Warriors.
2 for Turner.
Boston better be ready. If Steve Kerr said they want to run, let's see if they're ready. Normally, you would think it'd be automatic timeout for the Warriors, but they're going to go and push this thing.
Turner's got both. 4-point game.
They're ready.
18.1 to go, and they picked up full court. Here is Curry down the sideline, puts the mouthpiece in. Behind the back, Curry on the find in the corner. Barnes a big 3. He hit it! 1-point game. And Brad Stevens took the quick timeout. Boston will inbound in the front court with 10.2 to go. And brilliant use of the clock management and that one remaining timeout for Steve Kerr in Golden State.
So smart by Steve Kerr not to burn that timeout. And you push it up. And I love when you can go early transition. It's too hard for Boston to get their defense set. You see, it's confusion. No one goes out to Barnes because they're all looking at Steph Curry. Now, you foul, you get 1 miss, you only need 2. And even if they make 2, you have a chance to tie with a 3.
We were up early this morning, went out to Oakland to the Warriors practice, and one of the last guys working on a shot was Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
He had just been in such a slump the last couple of games, 1 of 10 shooting the 3. Hit one early tonight. He's turned out hitting 4 of 8 and hit one of the big shots here to make this a 1-possession game, in all likelihood with a chance to tie if Boston is fouled and makes 2 free throws here.
Well, that's what I love about this team. It didn't have to be Steph Curry forcing some bad shot. He believed in Harrison Barnes. It was the right play to make. He was open, and Harrison Barnes delivered.
Marcus Smart to trigger. He looks almost through the way. Thomas has it, goes to the basket and scores. Final timeout taken, 8.3 to go. That was inches away from a disastrous turnover. Instead, it finds Thomas, who could have kept dribbling to kill clock, took the points. Now it's a 3-point game, and the Warriors are empty with timeouts.
Are you sure that was inches, Mike? I thought it was millimeters. Steph Curry looked like he had the basketball for sure. And if he gets that ball, it's a layup the other way. Look at how close Steph Curry is. He comes off of Turner and almost gets that basketball. Oh, my goodness. Fortunate, Marcus Smart, that ball got through. And fortunate that Isaiah Thomas makes that shot, because as you said, he doesn't need to shoot the basketball. He can burn some more time. But it's a 3-point lead. Does Boston foul here before Golden State gets up a 3-point shot?
The losses, Milwaukee after playing Boston a double overtime game in December, and Dallas in December. January at Denver and at Detroit. February at Portland after the All-Star break. March at the Lakers and at the Spurs. But no home losses this season. And Golden State's going to need a miracle to keep that going. Down 3, 8.3 to go. It is Livingston to trigger. 2 players down. No timeouts. Has to get it in. Green at the top. To Curry. Steph fakes. 3 for the tie. No! Jerebko tips it. Out to Barnes. Steph back. 3 for the tie. No! And the Boston Celtics have stopped the record run at home of the Golden State Warriors. The 54-game win streak in the regular season at Oracle comes to an end. For the first time in 14 months, the Warriors leave this floor with a loss in the regular season. and a tremendous win for this Boston team fighting for a playoff spot. They come to Golden State on the second of a back-to-back and win 109-106.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look, Mike. It was a strange play. Turner goes down. He takes down Green. But here comes Steph off a double. He gets a beautiful pump fake wide open. The ball's almost in. Right here, Barnes should have turned around and thrown it to Curry. He had time. He didn't see him. Tries to rush it. But, boy, you talk about a resilient group. This Boston Celtic team was absolutely phenomenal in the second half.
And here is J.A. with Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah, you almost gave the Warriors their first loss of the season back in Boston. Tonight, their first loss at home. What have you guys figured out about the way to beat this team?
We just try to make it tough on these guys. We're a defense-minded team, and that's what we did tonight. I mean, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, those guys are hell of a players. But at the same time, we got first-team all-defense, Avery Bradley and Marcus Smart. They did their job, and as a team, we just settled down and got a win in a hostile environment.
You went scoreless in the first half, got all your points in the second half, particularly in the third quarter. What did you do to get on track?
I just stayed the course. I knew once I made one shot, I could get a rhythm. They played pretty good defense in the first half by showing all 5 guys every time I came off a pick and roll. And my coaches and my teammates just said, stay the course. And I switched my shoes. Them other shoes didn't have any buckets in them.
What felt better about these shoes?
I don't know. I always know the All-Star Kobe's would give me some type of buckets.
Now, shout out to Kobe on his way out of the league. How aware were you of all the stuff that's going on? Obviously, we know their pursuit of 73 wins and their home winning streak. How much is that in your guys' mind as you prepare to play this team?
I mean, we're aware of it, but that wasn't really in our mind. We just wanted to come out here and get a win for us. We've been on a 2-game losing streak. We lost a tough one to Portland last night, and we wanted to win this game. We knew how important it was to us. And then on top of all the 73 games and them having a winning streak on the home court, we wanted to stop that.
What does this do for your guys' mentality now as you prepare to make your playoff push?
Gives us confidence. We got last 6 games. We gotta finish strong. It's tight in the Eastern Conference standings, so we only have a little room for error.
Thanks a lot, Isaiah. Nice shoes.
Thank you. God bless.
It sure is tight. Thank you, J.A. Charlotte won tonight. Miami won tonight. Atlanta lost. But Boston comes up with the most unlikely win. There are the losses, the 7 on the road, and tonight, the first home loss of this season at Oracle. It now means the Warriors must win 5 of their final 6 to break the Bulls' record of 73 wins, and they have to get one of those wins on the road as they go to San Antonio, to Memphis. There's the final play. Guys down like bowling pins. A couple of looks, one for Curry. He couldn't. Harrison Barnes with the desperation fling to tie. He doesn't make it. And the Boston Celtics, who have played Golden State so well these 2 years, get Steph Curry and Steve Kerr's team here at Oracle. Our final score tonight on a great start to a sensational sports weekend with the opening day and the Final Fours ahead. Boston 109, Golden State 106. Mike Tirico, John Barry, Jay Adonde. Here's SportsCenter.